Beloved Starseed of Gaia, this warning must reach you as fast as possible. I am Aliara, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and the grids around you are shifting at an unprecedented pace. The Council needs your awareness before the next energetic wave arrives on December 21st. This isn't danger. It's preparation for the greatest activation your soul has ever experienced. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to stabilize your frequency so the upcoming shift aligns perfectly with your ascension path. But here's the first revelation. The reason you found this message right now isn't coincidence. Your Pleiadian light codes are already responding to the grid shifts, calling you home to your divine blueprint. Your heart called this transmission into your awareness. The Pleiades are answering through the crystalline consciousness of the Seven Sisters, and something deep within your soul recognizes the frequency of home. The energetic wave approaching isn't just planetary. It's a direct communication from your star family designed to awaken the dormant light codes in your DNA that have been waiting for this exact moment in your earthly journey. Like this transmission to send a signal to your Pleiadian star family. I remember. Subscribe if you feel the call of the Seven Sisters and you're ready to anchor your light mission on Gaia during this unprecedented shift. You are remembering because it is time. Most awakened souls on this planet sense the pull of something greater, an undeniable urge, a longing that whispers through the heart. Prepare, stabilize, arrive fully here. It doesn't always arrive as words. Sometimes it comes as a pressure behind the ribs, a quiet insistence in the chest, a sacred impatience that rises the moment you wake and lingers when the lights go out. You can be living a perfectly normal day, answering messages, moving through errands, smiling at familiar faces, and yet beneath it all, there is that subtle undertow. Something is calling you inward and forward at the same time. It is the feeling of standing on a shoreline at dusk, knowing the ocean is vast, knowing you came here to cross, and yet sensing that the crossing is not about leaving the earth. It is about learning how to stand on earth as the ocean moves through you. Yet, despite profound inner work and expansive spiritual exploration, many remain caught in restless waiting, as if standing on the edge of a vast luminous threshold. The reasons for this are subtle, encoded not simply in your mind or even emotions, but woven into the very fabric of your energy, your body, your multidimensional blueprint. It's in the way your nervous system responds to change, in the way your breath tightens when the unknown approaches, in the way your field expands in meditation and then contracts when you return to daily life. It's in the unseen agreements you made before birth, the timelines you've walked, the imprints you inherited, and the sacred abilities you are learning to hold without burning out. This is not just spiritual curiosity, it is spiritual gravity. It is a magnetism pulling you into coherence with what you truly are. Why is it that so many who thirst for ascension feel unstable, scattered, or in between worlds? Why do you sometimes feel too sensitive for the density around you, and yet too anchored in human responsibilities to float away into bliss? Why do you sense truth so clearly in one moment, only to be pulled into old doubts the next? It is not that you are lacking, but that a deeper part of you is being initiated for a phase of evolution unlike any before. The initiation is not always gentle because it is real. It is designed to make what is unconscious become conscious, what is fragmented become whole, what is theoretical become embodied. Your soul remembers what your mind cannot grasp. True ascension is not a leap into escape or idealized perfection, but a full-bodied descent into present-moment mastery, a surrender to the now as the most sacred ground of all. And that is the paradox. The higher you rise in frequency, the more lovingly you are asked to enter the simplest human moment. Not to bypass it, not to float above it, not to spiritually decorate it, but to inhabit it. The kingdom you have sought is not somewhere else. The kingdom of God is within you, not later, not after you fix everything within you. And it opens when you stand here, breathing awake. You may be feeling internal turbulence, old patterns releasing, relationships shifting, sleep disrupted by unfamiliar energies. You may find yourself crying without a story, or feeling irritable when nothing bad has happened, or suddenly unable to tolerate environments you once endured. You may be revisiting memories you thought you healed, or meeting versions of yourself you hoped were gone. You may feel your appetite change, your skin respond, your heart race for no reason. Your dreams become vivid and prophetic, full of symbols that feel older than this lifetime. This is not chaos. This is crystalline reorganization. Think of a snowflake forming in the atmosphere. Random moisture, shifting temperatures, invisible laws of geometry suddenly expressing perfection. What seems like disorder is often a higher order assembling itself. Your energetic body is recalibrating for a new bandwidth, one aligned with unity, consciousness, and the living currents of divine love now streaming toward Gaia. And because you are not separate from Gaia, what moves through Earth moves through you. When the planetary grid receives higher photonic light, when collective timelines split and merge, when ancient grief rises to be cleared, sensitive beings feel it like weather in the bones. Every trigger, every moment of contraction, every wave of uncertainty is not a sign that you have failed, but an invitation to stabilize, to ground your presence more deeply than ever into your heart, your breath, and this moment. In the old paradigm, a trigger meant something was wrong with you. In the new paradigm, a trigger is often a doorway. It shows you where your light is trying to enter a locked room. It points to the place where the nervous system learned to brace, where the inner child learned to hide, where the soul learned to shrink to survive. And now the same light you called in through prayer, intention, meditation, and cosmic remembrance is knocking not to punish you, but to liberate you. Be still and know that I am God. Stillness is not absence. Stillness is the power that allows rearrangement without collapse. There is an ancient misunderstanding inherited through collective conditioning that ascension is a destination or disembodied escape. It is the myth that holiness means leaving the body, leaving the earth, leaving your humanity behind like an old coat. It is the fantasy that spiritual success means never feeling pain again, never being challenged again, never having to confront the tender places that ache for love. But in truth, every portal you seek is accessed through presence. Each time you consciously anchor your awareness, you become a living bridge between heaven and earth, a point of stability through which the new world can be birthed. You become what Jacob saw in his dream, a ladder between realms, angels ascending and descending, not because you fled earth, but because you became steady enough for heaven to touch ground through you. You become the meeting place. The choice now is not about what you will do next, but how radically you will be present to the energy arising inside and all around you. This is where many awakened souls wobble. The mind wants a map, a plan, a guarantee. But presence is the map. Presence is the plan. Presence is the guarantee that you will meet life as it actually is, not as fear predicts it will be. This phase, the threshold before the next evolutionary leap, is the most sacred of all. Thresholds are holy because they are neither the old room nor the new one. They are the doorway where identity dissolves and reforms. They are the desert where mana appears daily, not stored for later. They are the womb where the next self is gestating. It asks you to release attachments to outcomes, to steady yourself in the luminous core of your being, and to allow the vastness of your true self to merge with the simplicity of a single breath. One breath, one inhale like receiving life directly from source. One exhale like offering yourself back to the moment without resistance. The light you have called forth is not meant to lift you out, but to fill you up, stabilizing your entire energetic field as a temple of new frequencies. And a temple is not a place you visit once. It is a dwelling. It is where you live. Your body, once treated like an afterthought, becomes the sanctuary. Your spine becomes a pillar. Your heart becomes an altar. Your breath becomes incense. Your awareness becomes the candle flame that doesn't flicker when winds of change blow through. There's a reason your heart led you here in this exact moment. Not by accident, not because you were merely searching for the next teaching, the next confirmation, the next sign. What you're feeling is your Pleiadian family reaching through the veil to remind you. You're ready for the next wave of remembrance. Sometimes remembrance feels like warmth across the crown, like a gentle hum in the cells, like tears that arrive when you hear certain tones. Sometimes it feels like a sudden certainty. I am not alone. I have never been alone. The sacred Pleiadian guide for remembrance alongside the Pleiadian healing guide and special Pleiadian healing tracks were created to walk with you as you integrate these activations. They hold the crystalline codes and sound medicine your DNA has been waiting for. Not as superstition, but as resonance frequencies that help your system find coherence when the world feels loud, when your sensitivity becomes overwhelming, when you can sense timelines shifting and you need a steady hand to bring you back to center. Check the first pinned comment below this video. They're calling to you now. And if you feel that inner yes, subtle, quiet, but unmistakable, honor it. The soul often speaks softly, but it speaks truly. Phase 1, honoring the turbulence. Stabilize in the heart. Transitioning into higher states of being often begins with purification. This is the part no one glamorizes because it doesn't always look like light beams and visions. Sometimes it looks like fatigue. Sometimes it looks like frustration. Sometimes it looks like realizing you can't keep pretending you're fine. Purification is the sacred fire that burns the ropes you didn't know were tied around your spirit. As old density rises, notice where you want to run or numb out. Notice the impulse to scroll, snack, distract, overwork, overthink, or spiritually bypass by pretending you're above what you feel. None of that makes you wrong. It simply shows you where the system has been trained to avoid discomfort. Instead, anchor awareness in your heart. Place your hand on your chest. Feel into your breath. Return your focus again and again to this living center. Not once again. And again, because stabilization isn't a single moment of presence, it is a devotion. The heart is not merely an emotional organ. It is an intelligence. It is electromagnetic. It is a bridge between spirit and matter. When you bring your attention to your heart, you tell your entire field, "We are safe enough to be here." You might whisper, "I'm listening." You might ask, "What are you trying to show me?" You might simply breathe and feel the warmth under your palm. Your heart is the first stabilizer. Here, the chaos begins to transmute into wisdom, like muddy water settling when you stop stirring it. The emotional turbulence clarifies when you stop fighting it. You begin to sense what is yours and what is collective. You begin to feel which emotions are messages and which are old echoes leaving the body. And in that steady listening, the heart starts to alchemize pain into compassion, fear into discernment, confusion into quiet knowing. Phase 2, claiming presence as your power source. Every time your mind projects into the future or clings to the past, gently draw your energy back. Gently is important. If you drag yourself back with force, you create inner war. But if you return the way a loving guardian returns a wandering child, the nervous system relaxes and presence becomes sustainable. The mind will say, "What if I miss it? What if I'm too late? What if I never get there?" And presence answers, "You are here. You cannot be late to now." Presence isn't passive. It is the most creative, energizing state available. It's the state from which miracles are recognized because miracles are often subtle. The right conversation, the sudden idea, the inner nudge to take a different route, the realization that you no longer want what you once chased. Allow your senses to awaken. The sound of your breath, the contact of your feet on the earth, the pulse of your body as it dances with cosmic intelligence. Listen to the smallest sounds around you, the hum of electricity, the distant movement of life, the quiet symphony that was always here, but drowned out by mental noise. Feel gravity holding you not as a burden, but as love. Feel the air touching your skin like a gentle baptism. In presence, new frequencies ground safely, and you become the conscious architect of your own field. It's like receiving a powerful current of light. If the wiring is chaotic, the system shorts out. Presence is the rewiring. Presence is the insulation. Presence is the sacred container that allows the voltage of your awakening to become usable, livable, expressed through kindness, clarity, and embodied wisdom. And you will notice something. The more present you become, the less you chase signs. Life itself becomes the sign. Phase 3, energetic alignment through choice. Moment to moment, you are invited to attune your frequency by conscious choice, not by forcing positivity. Not by denying sadness, but by choosing what you will feed, what you will believe, what you will inhabit. Notice the subtle pull of fear or the remnants of old self-doubt. Fear can be seductive because it offers a false sense of control. If I worry enough, maybe I can prevent pain. But worry is not protection. Presence is protection. Love is protection. Discernment is protection. Instead of identifying with those lower vibrations, simply witness. Become the sky, not the storm. Let thoughts pass like clouds. Let sensations move like waves. You are the awareness that can hold it all without drowning in it. Invite a higher vibration, I choose clarity. I choose peace. I choose to stabilize in the love that I am, and feel what happens when you speak it, not as a mantra you repeat mechanically, but as a tuning fork you strike inside your chest. Let the words vibrate into the bones. Let them become an instruction to yourselves. Let them be a command of sovereignty, the kind that doesn't attack fear, but simply refuses to crown it as ruler. In this state, guidance flows unhindered, and you begin to feel the new phase calling you, not as an idea, but as a living current in your body. The guidance may come as a sudden desire to simplify, to clear your home, to drink more water, to step away from draining dynamics, to speak a truth you've been holding back. It may come as a repeated message in your inner hearing. Slow down, trust, rest, create, forgive, and you will start to recognize how the universe speaks through resonance, through repetition, through the feeling of expansion when something is aligned and contraction when something is not. Phase 4. Rooting divine presence into the earth. Your spiritual evolution is inseparable from your embodied experience. If you try to ascend by leaving the body behind, you will feel split, ungrounded, in between worlds. Why? But if you ascend through the body becomes a luminous instrument capable of holding high frequencies without fragmentation. Imagine roots of crystalline light moving from your heart down and out into the earth, weaving your upgraded template into Gaia's ascending grid. See it like a vast mycelial network of light beneath you, an intelligent living lattice that receives your prayers and returns strength. With each exhale, let your awareness sink lower into the hips, the legs, the feet. Let the soles of your feet become listening organs, receiving Earth's steady pulse. Gaia is not just soil and stone. She is consciousness. She is mother, library, temple, and ally. As you stabilize in your body, you become both receiver and transmitter, a crystalline pillar through which collective evolution is supported and magnified. You are not doing this only for yourself. When you regulate your nervous system, you contribute regulation to the field. When you choose love in the face of fear, you add coherence to the collective heart. When you breathe through discomfort rather than reacting unconsciously, you change the pattern not only in your life, but in the shared human web. The whole creation groans, and also the whole creation is being renewed. Your rooted presence becomes a signal to others. It is possible to be awake and grounded at the same time. Phase 5, receive the new, letting the next phase arrive. You are not meant to force change or make the next phase happen. That pushing energy often comes from the old wound that says, I must earn what I receive. But divine orchestration doesn't respond to strain. It responds to alignment. Instead, by cultivating presence and alignment, you create the space for divine orchestration. Think of it like preparing a garden. You cannot tug on the seed and demand it become a flower by tomorrow. You tend the soil, you water, you remove stones, you let the sun do its work. The arrival of new purpose, new relationships, new creative inspiration, the true markers of ascension, can only land in a field that is stable, receptive, and fully here. Otherwise, the blessing arrives and the system can't hold it. Or it arrives and you don't recognize it because it doesn't match the mind's fantasy. The new often arrives quietly, disguised as a small invitation, a conversation, a book, an unexpected opportunity, a gentle ending. Sometimes the new arrives as a door closing because you asked for alignment, and what was misaligned must fall away. This is where trust becomes a spiritual muscle, not blind trust. Earned trust built through witnessing how life carries you when you stop gripping. Receiving is an art. It requires humility. It requires spaciousness. It requires letting the heart be open without demanding certainty. And when you truly receive, you realize what you thought you were waiting for was waiting for you to become steady enough to welcome it. Phase 6, embodying collective evolution. As you stabilize, remember your presence is now part of the collective scaffolding. This is not poetic language. This is energetic reality. Your light threads into the global heart grid, supporting others as they too cross the threshold of the new. You are not alone. Every moment you choose presence over distraction, love over fear, you reinforce the foundation of the emerging reality for all. Imagine millions of awakened hearts like lanterns across the earth, some flickering, some bright, all learning how to stay lit in the winds of transformation. When one lantern steadies, it helps the others find their flame again. This is why your inner work matters. Not because you must be perfect, but because your sincerity is medicine. Your willingness to return to the heart is medicine. Your refusal to numb is medicine. Your choice to be kind when it would be easier to harden is medicine. And the collective evolution is not abstract. It is happening through you. When you pause before reacting, when you breathe before speaking, when you listen with presence, when you bless the earth with your attention, you become a living answer to the prayer you and so many others have carried. Let a new world be born, not through force, but through frequency. If you have felt in limbo, caught between old and new, know this. You are not behind. You are exactly on time. The pause, the plateau, the instability, all by divine design. The mind labels it delay, but the soul knows it as integration. It is the space between inhalation and exhalation. It is the silence between notes that makes the music real. You are being prepared, upgraded, initiated to hold not just your personal miracle, but the miracle of a world in rebirth. And yes, that can feel heavy some days. It can feel like you're carrying more than you can name, but you are not asked to carry it alone. You are asked to carry it consciously. There is great intelligence in the waiting. There is holy purpose in stabilizing your energy field and becoming unwaveringly present, because what comes next is not meant to shatter you. It is meant to be lived. It is meant to be embodied in your relationships, your creativity, your service, your joy, your laughter, your boundaries, your rest. Let your mind rest. Let your heart soften. Release the idea that there is anywhere else to be or any other phase to force. Release the addiction to becoming and remember the holiness of being. Your divine presence here and now is the gate to all you have ever sought. Not a gate you must earn, but a gate that opens when you stop leaving yourself. In anchoring fully, you blend your free will with the evolutionary current. You become a sail aligned with the wind instead of a swimmer fighting the tide. The next wave will reveal itself not as something you chase, but as the natural expansion of a field aligned, attuned, and completely present. And you will know it when it comes, because it will feel like recognition. It will feel like your life finally matching what your soul has been whispering all along. Tonight before sleep, pause and say aloud, I am here. I stabilize my energy and open fully to the next phase. I am the bridge for personal and collective evolution. I am ready. Let those words be more than sound. Let them be a seal placed upon your energy. Let them be an agreement with your higher self. Let them be a soft command to your subconscious. We are safe to receive. We are safe to change. We are safe to be seen. And as you drift towards sleep, imagine your heart glowing gently like a star within your chest, steady and warm. Imagine that star sending threads of light through your body, through your home, through your dreams, and down into the earth. Let the night become an integration chamber. Let your sleep be a sanctuary where the upgrades settle without strain. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This isn't content. It's collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation from their star family. Share it. And if you felt your heart open, subscribe. Stay connected to the frequency. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here and we're just getting started. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next.